to my next video. In this video, I will teach you the part 3 of this lesson. Number 1, the best Christmas present in the world. Okay, so in the next part, what we learned? We learned that the letter about the Jim McPherson to his wife, Connie. Okay, so he wrote that in that letter how the Fritz and Tommy became friends on the day of Christmas, how they celebrated, how they played football, and what are the all are the conversation between the two captains, that all we learned. So here in the part 3 we will discuss about that what is becoming the what is happening in the next. See, I folded the letter again and slipped it carefully back into the envelope. So I means he who children? The narrator. So after reading the letter, he read the letter which is written by the Jim McPherson to his wife. He read the letter. After reading the letter, he means the narrator kept the slip it gently and put it into the envelope. I kept awake all night by warning me that what I had to do. I drove into Bridgeport, just a few 9 miles away. I asked a boy walking his dog where Copper Bridges was. House number 12 turned out to be nothing but a burned out cell. The roof gaping, the windows boarded off. I knocked at the house next door and asked if anyone knew the whereabouts of Mrs. McPherson. Oh yes, said the old man in his slipper. So after reading the letter, he put into the envelope, and the whole night he think that what I have to be do now. This letter, on the letter what is written, that this is the last letter of G, and it will be read with me. It's written, so what I will do now, if this letter I will send to that person. So their address written, so due to that address, next morning he got up and he asked one boy who is walking with a dog, do you know about this address, which is little mile little far away from his house. So he, according to that address, the narrator went to that place. Okay, so he saw that house is little burnt, something is not in a good condition. So he knocked the nest of that house. No one is there in the house. So he knocked the door of the nest of the house and asked that, what he asked, that Mrs. McPherson, oh yes, that one old man came from the next door and he said that, oh yes, he knew her very well. He thought, oh, yes, I know her very well. A lovely old lady is telling, that old man is telling, he is very old, lovely old lady. He told me a bit muddle-headed, but at her age, she was entitled to be, was not she 101 years old? Oh my God, that old lady, who is that old lady you know? That old lady is Mrs. Connie. What is the age you know? The age is 101 years. The age of the Connie is 101. That old man told. Then, muddle-headed means what, children? That confused. With the confused, he told that maybe he is 101 years old. Then she had been in the house when it caught fire. She is in the house only when the house is caught fire. No one really knew how the fire had started, but it could well have been candles. She used candles rather than electricity because she always thought electricity was too expensive. Okay, so what? No one know how the fire is caught, but everyone is telling she always using the candles. Why? Because she not using the electricity. She thought electricity is very cost. That's why she is always using the candles. Maybe due to the candles only in that house, fire caught. So the fireman had got her out in the just in time. So she was in the house only. That time the house caught fire. So firemen very at the last moments they rescued the old woman from the house. She was in a nursing home. Now he told me, Burlington House on the Dorchester Road on the other side of town. So he told that old man now he is in the nursing home, means in her treatment. So that nursing home address also that old man gave to the narrator. That address is Dorchester Road on the other side of the road. Okay, that is the Burlington House. Next part, I found one Burlington House nursing home easily enough. So now narrator went to find out the address which one the old man gave. So he found very easily because it is very nearest to of that place. There were paper chains up in the hallway and a lighted Christmas tree stood in the corner with a lopsided angle on top. I said I was a friend come to visit Mrs. Macpherson to bring her a Christmas present. Okay, see children, here two incidents which one happened in the Christmas day only. Yes, first incident which is that the letter is written by Jim Macpherson, which is which happened. What happened in that Christmas day? That two two soldiers like Tommy and Fritz, how they become friends with each other. That is happened in the Christmas day only. And this event, when the narrator brought one desk on the before day of Christmas, in the next morning the Christmas, so he on the day of Christmas only he came or he went to meet with Connie. Okay, so he told that I am the friend of Mrs. Jim Macpherson. I brought one Christmas gift for her. So what is the Christmas gift, children? Yes, very good. That letter which is written by her husband Jim Macpherson. Okay. Then on I could see through into the dining room where everyone was wearing a paper hat and singing. The matron had a hat on too and seemed happy enough to see me. She even offered me a mince pie. She walked me along the corridor. Okay, so what they were doing in the nursing home, everybody are putting a paper hat on his head and they are singing the carol song on the day of Christmas. Also the matron means who children? The head nurse. The head nurse also singing with them. So when the matron saw to the narrator, he felt very happy and also offered a cake, that is mince pie cake also, a pie also he offered. So he and she walked along with the corridor. Mrs. Macpherson is not in the with the others. She told me she is rather confused today, so we thought it best if she had a good rest. So the matron told him, actually she is a little confused today. That's why we kept to her for the rest only. So she has no family, you know, no one visit. So I am sure she will be only too pleased to see you. She took me into the conservatory with the thicker hair and potted plants all around and left me. Okay, so what happened? So that matron told, no one is there in the family of Connie. She is alone only. If you will visit to her, she will feel very happy because no one is coming to visit her. Come with me, I will meet with her. So he brought on the conservatory. Conservatory means what, children? A glass house made to relax. It is a one glass house where the people will go and sit to make a relax. Okay. Then what happened? The old lady was sitting in a wheelchair. So when the matron and the narrator went into the conservatory, one old woman is sitting on that wheelchair. Okay, her hands folded in her lap. Her hand is folded in her lap, like that she was sitting. Then she had silver white hair pin into wispy bun. So bun means what? Like this hair should be put in the bun. In a wispy means it is not in a good manner. Like that in a bush how will be there. Like that her bun will be and one silver pin is there on the bun of his her. Then she had a silver white pin into the wispy bun. She was gazing out at a garden. Hello. When the narrator went near that, so she said hello. She turned and looked up at me vacantly. Happy Christmas, Connie. I went on. I found words. I think it is yours. As I was speaking, her eyes never left my face. Okay, so what happened? That narrator, what he did? He first wished that Happy Christmas, Miss Connie. So he saw that man. Then after the narrator told that I brought one gift for you. So when when the narrator is giving the letter and telling, he is not listening his word. She is not listening that narrator words. She quickly grasped that letter because that letter she know that it is the last letter of Jean McPherson. So she quickly grabbed that letter without listening to the narrator. Okay. Then, now as I was speaking, her eyes never left my face. I opened tin box and gave it to her. That was the moment her eyes light up with recognition and her face became suffused with a sudden glow of happiness. Okay, when she saw the letter, her eyes light up, means like this, light up, and her face is became very much charming. Why? Why? Because she got the letter. Okay, and she recognition is what children identification. She identified that letter, which one the her husband written. Okay. I explained about the test, about how I had found it, but I don't think she was listening. Okay, so narrator standing and explaining. What is explaining? How he got the letter? How he got the letter? Once I went to the junk shop, there I saw a test. I got that one. I opened the drawer. From that drawer, one tin box came. In the tin box, this letter is there. Everything is narrating the story, but Mrs. Connie is not in the condition to listen. She was very much deeply entered into the letter by seeing that letter. Okay, for a while she said nothing but stroked her letter tenderly with her fingertips. Suddenly she reached out and took my hand. Her eyes were filled with tears. You told me you had come home by Christmas, dearest, she said, and here you are, the best Christmas present in the world. Come closer, Jim, dear, sit down. So what happened, you know, she became 101-year-old, she recognized the letter and she went into the past and she thought that to the narrator is Jim. So she put his hand and made them sit near him and told that, oh dear, oh my dear husband, you came to meet with me. You told me that on the Christmas day you will come. You came, my dear. Like that is she's feeling that is that narrator only is her husband. I sat down beside her and she kissed my cheek. And I read your letter so often, Jim, every day. I wanted to hear your voice in my head. It always made me feel you were with me and how you are. Now you are back, you can read it to me yourself. Would you do that for me? Jim dear, I just want to hear your voice again. I had loved that so much, and then perhaps we will have some tea. I have made you a nice Christmas cake, marzipan all around. I know how much you love marzipan. Okay, so but that Connie thought that to the narrator is only husband Jim. So she kissed his cheeks. After that he told her, please talk with me. I want to listen with your voice. Please read this letter for me again so that I can hear your voice. You see it, I will make you a marzipan cake, which one is you are liking very much. So like that, what she is talking with the narrator. Okay, so this is the very happiest moment that narrator did good thing or not. He gave one little happiest moment to that lady who is waiting for her husband's letter. Okay, so this is the story over. Please, children, what word meanings I wrote on the blackboard, please copy this word meaning in your English notebook. Okay, children, bye.